Hi everybody, Attorney Richard Seller here, May 4th, 2020. Hopefully on the back end of the coronavirus pandemic, the world is slowly starting to open in phases. And I wanted to take a moment from a law firm perspective to discuss how businesses can open safely. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to give medical or health advice, but from a legal perspective, talk a little bit about some of the things that employers should be doing in the workplace as employees slowly but surely creep back into the workplace. And obviously, the first thing I'm going to recommend for all employers is to spend a little bit more in terms of disinfecting, having, if there's a cleaning service that comes into your business, have them come in more regularly. Perhaps if it's available, cleaning supplies for all employees at their desks and making masks available, okay? Everybody's still on edge from this, and I think will continue to be for a long time. So you're going to deal with situations in the workplace, for example, where an employee may come in that has a cold or a cough, and there are implications for treating that employee like an outcast or even saying Rona, when somebody sneezes or coughs, because there are disability or regarded as disability laws that do apply in the workplace. So I guess the best way I can describe the environment for everybody to come back is tread carefully, be kind to one another in terms of disinfecting. Obviously, if you can have the Lysol wipes available, I said masks, hand sanitizer is starting to become more readily available. You should do that. The other thing, obviously, this is another recommendation as we open in phases, is don't just bring everybody back to work all at once until everybody gives the all clear from a health and safety perspective. For example, at our firm, we've been primarily working remotely with a handful of people working in the office with masks, okay? So what we're considering doing, for example, is bringing people back on different days or having week-long shifts. So X amount of people will work from the office for week one, and they'll stay together with that team. The next week, they work remotely, and team two comes in after we sterilize the living heck out of the office in between the two shifts. So there's going to be an adaptation period here where businesses are going to have to come back slowly. I feel terrible for the restaurant businesses. You see issues, for example, they're reopening, but who's going to feel comfortable truthfully wearing a mask or taking a mask off to eat? I don't know how that's going to happen. I feel terrible for gyms, movie theaters, therapists, massage therapists, physical therapists. But there are, obviously guidelines that are being put in place by the government that will allow them to operate, albeit at a reduced capacity. This is a terrible time for everybody. Every business that I know other than, health supplies has taken a real hit, including law firms. But from a safety perspective, the best guideline I can give employers is err on the side of caution. If an employee comes in and they're not feeling well, allow them to go home. Where in the past, employers may have been annoyed where an employee calls out for a sniffle. As things are slowly getting back to normal, respect that sniffle could be a bigger problem if you allow it to be, if that employee comes in and then everybody gets sick, or people can start yelling and screaming or even assaulting that employee for bringing, perceived coronavirus into the workplace. Everybody is going to be on edge. Just as the employer, it's going to be your job to prohibit misinformation from getting out there. And what I mean by that is don't be a part of the problem. Your employees are looking to you as a steady force of guidance, so you need to be that steady force of guidance. If somebody comes in sick, deal with them professionally, quietly, and get them out of the workplace until they're feeling better or can get some sort of approval from their doctor. So a lot of this is common sense, and these are common sense tips, but I at least wanted to make a short video blog just to say we're all in this in terms of how we're all slowly going to try to reopen our businesses. I know it's tough for a lot of businesses to operate remotely. For law firms, not so much, but it's still been, this pandemic has been so disruptive to all of us. So use common sense, be smart about how you treat employees, spend the extra couple dollars if you have it on making sure safety supplies are available, sanitation supplies are available, masks, Lysol, hand sanitizer, whatever you can get your hands on. Make it available to your employees. Make sure the employees aren't congregating in the workplace. I know everybody's in a rush to get back to normal, but you want to make sure as the boss, as the employer, that you're protecting your workforce. Hope everybody's staying safe. We'll be in touch.